2. Hey everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. Well, one of the most rewarding things you can do as a musician of any instrument, not just the guitar, is to be able to jam along with other musicians, to improvise, to pick up your instrument and just contribute. And I think that's the goal of learning to play the guitar. It really should be. It's not just to memorize somebody else's stuff. That's fun too, but to really be able to play it and write your own stuff and improvise, really. So that's what really all of these lessons that I've put out are kind of all have that angle in there. It's trying to get you on your own so that you can do those things. So what we're going to do in this lesson is I'm going to show you how to be able to jam by yourself with just a guitar. So in fact, I'm on the acoustic guitar this week, stripped out all the technicalities that come with electric guitar. I think sometimes that can be a distraction, trying to get the right amp settings and all of that. You can do this with just an acoustic guitar and a pick, and there's 2 chords even, so it's an A minor and a D7th chord, and alternating between those 2 chords, you can extend that on as long as you want. So I'm going to show you how to play everything I played in the intro to kind of get you going and get you thinking about this. And if you want to download the tablature for this lesson, you're going to want to go to ActiveMelody.com and look for EP045. That's the lesson number for this lesson. So in this video, we're just going to take a look at the first part of that. And if you're an Active Melody Premium member, you'll have a second video on the lesson page, and you can watch the rest of that. So let's take a look at this lesson. Alright, so real quick before we get started, I did want to point out this guitar. I haven't played on this one on any previous lessons because it's brand new. I just got this the other day. This is a new one from Alvarez. It's called the MPA-70. And it's just a beautiful looking sounding playing guitar. The guys at Alvarez just continue to blow my mind with the quality of product that they put out for the price point. It's really the best I think there is. So anyway, a little parlor guitar. I love these parlors, but just look at some of the design on this thing. It's just gorgeous. So anyway, I'm going to create another video that's just about this guitar, and would like to, I'll walk through all the specs and everything. So be looking for that. So anyway, so it's the MPA-70. Now, back to this lesson. So the structure of this style of being able to jam by yourself is really, it's playing the chords and then playing the lead. And then back to the chords and back to the lead. That's what you're doing. Because you don't have another musician to play the chords. So you set the tone by playing some chords, and then you can do a little solo, and then you're back to the chords. So the way that you would improvise is I'm going to show you 3 different ways to play these two chords. It's an A minor chord and a D7th chord. I'm going to show you. You can play them down here in first position. We're going to be playing them up here, and then you're going to be playing them up here. So now you can improvise even with the chords. So you don't have to just play an A minor and a D7th down in first position. You can mix them up. You could play an A minor here and your D7th here, or so forth and so on. Same with the little lead parts. You have all these sort of variables that you can start to work with, and if you just stick with this, you'll see how much fun it is to really be able to have a little jam session by yourself. And to me, that's what I like to do when I'm just sitting around the house. I don't want to play an Eagles song, Well, I mean, maybe sometimes, but that's just where the real joy in playing is when you can just sit down and kind of create. So, all right, now the first thing that I did, so I'm going to show you how to play everything I did note for note, and you can take that, and if that's all you want to do with it, that's cool. But what I hope you can do is take that and then start to think about how you might change it if this were you doing it and putting your sound to it, your signature on it. Okay, so here's how I started this. And what I'm doing there is I'm using my middle finger. You could use your pointer finger if you wanted to, but I'm just kind of doing these hammer-ons here with my middle finger. So the first note is an open A string, or the 5th string. I'm going to go through the fretted notes first, and then I'll show you the right hand, the picking hand. So let's start with the fretted hand. So I start with that open 5th string, and then I hammer onto the 3rd fret 5th string. And then I come up here and play the open D string, or the 4th string. So now we have those 3 notes. Now we're back to the 3rd fret 5th string, back to the open 5th string. Now we're down on the 3rd fret 6th string, which is a G note, and then we're back to the open 5th string. So let me do that slowly. So we have. So that's setting the, that's kind of like your first little lead, I guess, is that part. Now with the right hand, what I'm doing, I'm going. Watch, it's just alternate picking, down, up, down, up. Let me switch my angle here so you can see a little better. So we have, so it's down, up, down, up, down, up. So, okay, so that's the little intro piece to this. Now, as soon as you hit that open A string and let that ring out, then I'm going to come down here and play the A minor chord. Now, I'm not going to show you how to make this chord. I'm going to assume you know how to do it. I have all of these chords in the resources section of the Active Melody website if you want to see how to finger them. So now, so then I just strum. So I go hit that 5th string, strum the chord, then I'm back to the 5th string, and then back to strumming the chord. But the second time that I hit the 5th string and the chord, I do it quickly, so it sounds like this. So let me do that slowly. We have, so it's 1, 2, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. Now, okay, so let me do that slowly. Then I stop. Notice my hand comes down and stops all of the strings to kill that, and it actually creates kind of a rhythm when I do that too. Then, as I stop it, notice my left hand switches over and I play the D7th chord. That's really that first part. Now what you've done for the listener is you've created the you've laid down the foundation. So the listener's ear goes, okay, I see what you're doing. You've got this little groove, especially once you go at the moment that you go back to the A minor, it becomes very predictable. And so that's creating that predictability is what allows you to break away from that, play a little lead over here, and then come back to it. And it all kind of makes sense to the listener's ear. You can't stray off from the chords for too long, or you couldn't do this extended solo. Well, you could, but you start to lose the groove a little bit. So that's why you kind of want to stick to a format like that, where you're kind of laying down the chords, laying down a solo, chord solo. Okay. So after the D7th, then we come back and we repeat that little intro part. And I play an A minor chord again. Now this time through I go. And that's just the only reason I did that. You wouldn't have to. You could continue just playing the A minor chord. But I like to break it up a little and create something a little more interesting. So what I'm doing there is I'm borrowing the 5th fret, first 5 strings with my pointer finger, and I'm playing strings 5 and 4, and I'm hammering on. Actually, I start with just string 5, and I hammer on to the 7th fret on the 5th string. So this is the 7th fret here. So, and as soon as I hammer that on, I keep that finger down and I play strings 4 and 3. So, can you hear that? And I do that same thing. So now I'm going to slide that up here so that I'm barring the 7th fret, and I do the exact same thing, but I go. That time I hit the that chord twice. So the first time I went. The second time I go. So let me put it in context. So. And you can see from a timing perspective, you may want to just do that over and over again until you get the groove. Because I use this chord thing a lot when I'm playing a solo kind of thing. Or somewhere between a rhythm and a solo. It just sounds cool to me. Okay, so let's back up and I'll do what we have, everything we have thus far. I'll do a little slower. So here we go. Okay. We're back to repeating. That time through, I just played it the same. I didn't change anything. Now this time through, instead of doing that little part, I wanted to change it up again, and I played this. So what I'm doing to create that is I'm hammering on with my middle finger here the 2nd fret, 3rd string. That's the note. Then I play the open G string, or the open 3rd string. Then I come down to the 4th string, open 4th string actually. And as soon as I hit that, I'm going to do a hammer on and pull off with my pointer finger on the 1st fret 4th string like this. So we have. Now after that, then I come down and play. Sorry. So come down and play the 3rd fret 5th string. And when I play that, I actually kind of pull it a little bit and bend it slightly sharp. You'll hear it if I do it slowly. You don't have to do that, but I think that sounds kind of cool. It gives a little more twang. So that's what what you're trying to do is. Oh, the other thing I didn't mention, when I play this 3rd fret 5th string, that's actually a hammer on as well. So watch this. It's a hammer on, pull off, and then another hammer on. So watch my right hand when you're watching this. See, I just picked it once. Now you could pick that as well. It just depends on how fast you're doing it. But if you're doing it up to tempo, for me it's easier just to do a hammer on there. And then you play that open A string again, or the 5th string. Okay, so and then after that I'll play the A minor part and the D 7th part. Okay, so that's the whole first little part. Now let me go ahead and I'll back up and I'll play all of those, all of that note for note. So here's what we have. Alright, so to watch the rest of this lesson and to download the tablature, you're going to want to head over to activemelody.com and look for EP045.